Fresh sounds of distant laser fire and heavy artillery bracket the outer defenses of New Cybertron, the Autobots' newly crowned fortress. Walls of hardened adamantium and titanium rock back and forth under the colossal bombardment. All the while, smaller Autobots rushed to the defense stations, charging batteries, loading heavy munitions, preparing to turn aside the enemy assault.
Megatron is behind this, I am sure of it.
Ultra Magnus assures himself, looking at the grim prospect of a concerted Decepticon assault. He has already sent out 3 squads, led by a few of his most trusted lieutenants. Ironhide has come back badly mauled by the Constructicon ambush at the main gate, painfully turned away by the timely intervention of the Dinobots, led by their commander Grimlock. Despite overwhelming numbers and firepower, the Dinobots were able to turn aside the initial Constructicon assault at the main gate. Ultra Magnus spoke with Grimlock, who sported several major wounds to his flank and a destroyed eye socket. He sat grimacing as nanobots attempted to rebuild his eye.
Grimlock hates nanobots. They itch.
He shakes his head, loosing a collection of the microscopic nanobots across the deck. Ultra Magnus is not fazed, standing stoic in the twilight of the medical facility. The cold light gave little warmth to the steely, stoic Autobot commander.
Did you see any of the Decepticons other than Devastator?
Magnus asks once more.
No, just that big thing. He is now scrap, dragged away by their flyboy Starcry. Oh!
You mean Starscream?
Ironhide reveals, knowing Grimlock's effective name for the cowardly second-in-command. Ironhide had his own repairs going ahead, his right arm currently placed next to his leaking shoulder. A slowing pool of oil panned beneath his repair slab.
Grimlock hates nanobots.
He tries to pull out of his restraints, but his left leg was also detached as fiber bundles are restitched. He is a proud Dinobot, but not known to be patient.
He will try again with a greater force next time, Ultra Magnus. Please, Grimlock, let the nanobots do their duty.
Ratchet asks kindly, understanding his need to be free, outside and not contained inside a cold artificial building. Knowing deep down he needed to heal and recover, Grimlock sighed and lay back, acquiescing to the nanobots as they rebuilt him from the inside.
How many more did we lose in this incursion?
7 more of our number lost their sparks, Commander.
Ratchet nodded to the darkened storage room, where the broken and shattered frames of several of their brothers and sisters lay in situ, awaiting recycling.
The Allspark remembers.
Ultra Magnus held his hand to his own spark in reverence, wishing he was not the one making the hard decisions now. He wished his friend and mentor was here. Optimus had been gone with Bumblebee for so long their names were a memory. They did not say what their mission was, nor when they would return. All that was divulged was that success would decide the fate of all of Cybertron's inhabitants, both Autobot and Decepticon.
Rest up, both of you. Continue your ministrations, Ratchet.
Ratchet nodded silently as Ultra Magnus walked away deep in contemplation. The remains of Unicron still orbited high above. A horn was all that remained of that existential threat. In the grim twilight, as numerous cyber fires were lit among the populace of New Cybertron, it glinted in the purple-blue haze of dusk. The newly crowned leader of the Autobots, twice in his existence, looked on across Cybertronia. It spread for miles in each direction, lost to the smoke and debris of the latest onslaught. The enemy had been given a bloody nose, failing to take the main gate, and with the loss of Devastator, would require an alternative approach to take the city. Ultra Magnus looked up to the skies, to the twinkling stars far away in the cold void of space. Ultra Magnus felt he could see his oldest friend and leader somewhere out there, looking for a way to bring them all home.
Penny for your thoughts.
Chromia.
Ultra Magnus instantly recognized her voice. Her presence meant one thing. A threat assessment was underway.
We have a signal, Commander. The signal is one we have not seen before amid the asteroid belt.
Optimus.
No, but it has a vector that would bring it in direct collision with Earth. Stellar mass estimates suggest...
Suggest what, Chromia?
Omega level impact.
Target.
Ultra Magnus began to piece together what he had surmised.
Here, New Cybertronia.
They both turned away from the sight far above and made their way to the strategy room deep inside the Citadel.
All hands prepare for immediate battle.
The automated pronouncement echoed through the vast halls and domiciles, workrooms and defense bastions of the last Autobot stronghold. The initial estimates had been misleading. Jamming signals had hidden an extraterrestrial strike from orbit. Miniature asteroids bracketed the city, dousing vast sections in fire and destruction. Carts containing all manner of Autobots raced along cramped corridors, flanked by medic bots. Oil splattered across walkways. The strategic stronghold had layers of dust and mechanical debris collecting in the corners.
That was just the initial bombardment. Prime was great threat. Who do we have in support turning away the Decepticons this time?
Ultra Magnus, nursing a broken shoulder flexor, checked his laser cannon for damage.
Few remain unused. We have little or no means to counter-assault the Decepticon beachhead to the south. That doesn't even include the Omega threat from the asteroid belt.
Left with little or no recourse, Ultra Magnus places a usable hand to the ident mark on the glass panel below the main display.
Call in the wreckers.
Springer and his team of 4 commandos answered the last-minute call for aid. Topspin, Leadfoot and Roadbuster all were on recon, but immediately called back upon the news of the asteroid strike.
Springer, come in.
Spitting out a sprocket, hitting a small Decepticon with the metal cog and bodily tossing the machine off a gantry low riser, Springer called out to his former commander.
Commander Magnus! Sorry, just dealing with the dregs to the east. They tried to ambush us. They're burning hulks now.
Enough games. I need you at the launch pad for a critical mission.
He would not send for them if it was not urgent.
Target, sir?
An asteroid on collision vector with Earth. Use Cybertron.
How do you stop an asteroid midway to bringing damnation to his brothers? He knew what it meant. All likelihood he and his team would not live to see the end of this day. He knew such a critical request by another name. A suicide mission. Just what the Wreckers were designed to face.
Find any means to stop the collision and find out who is behind it. Megatron leads the enemy vanguard to assault us here, so someone is on that asteroid.
It will be done, sir!
The line went dead as the cavalcade of artillery blasts rocked the nearby hangars and engineering work surrounding the launch site. The Wreckers made their way up the gantry, climbing up the human-sized edifice. No such room for those of his kind, although this rocket would have ample room in the hold for them. The human pilots had been given authorization to launch regardless. Minutes now remained. Locking themselves to support joists and hardpoints inside the hold, they mentally prepared themselves for the mission to come. Someone knew their weakness, and that it would take a miracle to stop the asteroid strike. Someone also led the mission on that desolate rock. Who would have the mental acumen to launch a daring and risky plan? The thoughts raced through Springer's mind as the rocket blasted into orbit and out towards the asteroid field.
Target in range, detaching hold launcher.
A human voice, hard with experience and speaking to alien species, gave the confirmation with little remorse or emotion. His orders were also strict. Get the Wrecker commandos to the asteroid, maintain orbit with the stellar mass, then break off after a specified limit. If all else fails, pilot the rocket into the asteroid and detonate the engines.
May your gods be with you, pilot!
And yours, Springer.
The Wreckers gained control of the small shuttlecraft they sat inside and piloted it towards the asteroid. It was not an asteroid. More accurately, it once was. It was now hollowed out, supported by a massive internal framework surrounding a volatile core of energon. The detonation would not just decimate New Cybertron, it would annihilate an entire continent. A world-changing impact. Someone really wanted the Autobots dead. Sneaking through the vaulted edifice, traversing vertical supports and energon feed cabling, the Wreckers found a collection of worker drones fixing pilings into the superstructure of the shell of the asteroid. It was drifting, slowly making its way towards Earth.
This doesn't seem right. Why go to the trouble of hollowing out the asteroid, only to build an energon generator at the center?
Topspin, grabbing one of the worker drones, pulled it apart into 2 bisected pieces. oil and coolant spurting everywhere amidst a silent screech.
To make a larger bomb? No, it doesn't seem right. A slow-moving target, even at cosmic speeds, could be assaulted with enough warning.
They pushed on, tracking where the immense glowing cables ended. They soon had their answer. 4 gargantuan engines pulsed through the blackened iron-rich metal of the asteroid. It was no normal rocky stellar mass. This was made of heavy elements, purified and collected to make such a rocky edifice as massive and hard as possible. This asteroid would not burn up in the atmospheric heat wash. It would superheat, condense, and hit with the power to level the planet. It would kill everyone on Earth. Shocked into forgetting their base training for a moment in the grim realization, Leadfoot bore his namesake and brought the attention of some patrolling renegade Cybertron robots. They all turned towards the noise, blurted out by Narek, and opened fire.
Move!
Springer launched over the walkway high above the largest engine housing, realizing that they could not simply destroy the engines for risk of detonation. The pieces would still travel towards the planet, now closer than the orbit of Mars. He had to somehow adjust its course if he could. A wall of ruby laser fire bracketed the back wall of his concealed position. He returned fire, taking out a trio of malformed monsters in a wave of concussive shots. His custom blaster, set for maximum output, didn't only melt or evaporate metal it hit, it caused it to superheat and detonate. Shards of energon exploded, sending ejected body parts into nearby defenders, knocking them aside. Leadfoot, his missiles primed, fired at a vertical support, sending the pieces of the supporting stanchion down towards the artificial graphitic center. It crushed 4 more defenders. The entire engine bay was filled with violence. Calls for aid by the wounded and dying filled the din, whilst Roadbuster carved up a larger foe with his immense chainsaw. He continued to cut, bisected body falling either side of the walkway, down towards the midnight gloom below. Small detonations indicated how far the chasm went several seconds later.
Watch your step!
Roared Roadbuster as he vaulted to a lower level, pinning more defenders at a doorway with his minigun.
We need to get to the controls for the engines. This is no good here. We destroy them, they take the Earth with it in pieces. I know! That was my thought, sir.
Who knows the Wrecker's modus operandi so well as to design a target that cannot be conventionally destroyed? One that knows their every movement. It seems an entire brigade now pushed down upon them. They will be overrun soon enough.
Split up! Take some of these bastards with you! Rendezvous at the bridge if you can! Do as much damage as possible, but do not disrupt the energon feeds!
The Wreckers acknowledged wordlessly and split into individual units, drawing enemy fire and manpower away. Springer was all alone now. He headed towards what he thought was the bridge, an observation platform of sorts, according to a hastily crafted topographical map.
I know you are here, old friend.
That voice.
It pushed deep into his cerebral cortex, bypassing all encryption controls he had in place. Only Autobot Command had the decryption ciphers and top-level commando leaders. Most were on mission, defending New Cybertronia, or dead. Or dead. They never found the clone's body.
Impactor.
The name drew a gasp from Springer. His former mentor and commander, he had died. His cloned form had been bested once before. He saw his frame fall into the chasm on the moon. His body was never recovered. He assumed it was buried, forgotten.
Meet me.
The line went dead before Springer could mentally retort. Very well, ghost of my friend. He killed 4 more Guardians, bloodily and noisily, realizing there was no need for subtlety now. Detonations rocked the facility. His team were doing what they could to cause as much structural damage as they could muster. It would not be enough. Springer would need to control this thing and send it off course, if he could. He slowly fought his way to the bridge and the lone blinking icon that glowed ruby on his visual map.
Why?
Springer demanded an answer as he battered his way through the welded shut bridge door. The metal slabs parted with sparks and molten metal. Springer now had multiple oily welts on his frame, courtesy of a concerted defense of the bridge. Nothing would stop him, not careful consideration of the control interfaces of this asteroid-cum missile, nor the plaintive cries of the injured as he crushed their skulls under his uncaring step.
Why, Impactor? Answer me!
The link had been open to his former commander the entire journey to the bridge, and it girded him all the way. It drove Springer to the edge of hatred and beyond. They had not made it intact to the bridge. Leadfoot was several floors below. He lay prostrate, in ruin. His spark was near total obliteration. Roadbuster had been found and defended by Topspin, who now missed half a face. Springer was right. No matter what they did, they could not cause enough devastation to render the asteroid fatally damaged. He would need to take control himself. Ordering his team to the shuttle and to depart, Springer was determined to face his foe alone. He was insensate, wrath incarnate. Nothing would stop him. Not even a timely meeting with his former commander, his old mentor and friend. When Springer burst into the bridge, what he saw then brought him pause and quelled hatred of his friend to a degree. Impactor was living on borrowed time, his body hardwired into the asteroid. He would never return to full automotive control. He was a Cybertronian husk, a gestalt of Cybertronian technology and nightmarish brutalism in mechanical grafting. To live in such a way, no wonder Impactor wanted to kill everything. His once proud commander, one he had watched die many years before, then witnessed a clone suffer a similar fate, was now a shell. Half his body was missing at the waist. One arm was also missing. Those missing parts were not the terrifying thing to behold. It was the lack of emotion and cold logic that replaced it, the lifeless void behind the lenses of its eyes. The sheer lack of what made his former commander who he once was. This was not his commander, not anymore. It was death unending. Here was the real reason this clone was so freely ready to end everything. It wanted to die.
Have you come to stop me? They tied me to this machine, gave me a target. I remember you, brother.
A part of you does. The part that makes up your artificial memories.
The Autobots abandoned me. My friends abandoned me.
The Gestalt managed to lean forwards, pulling support cabling taut.
You abandoned me.
You were dead, obliterated. If we knew you'd been salvaged, we would have come for you.
It does not matter. My master is dead. The Autobots killed him. This was his final command. I fulfill his wishes now. My demise will be yours. Unicron will reform in the obliteration.
There is nothing left of that thing. Its planetary corpse orbits the star.
No, you are wrong. With the energon released, he will rekindle his own spark. Forge a new body.
Impactor lifted his head and a violent shunt hit everything around them.
Sir, engines have gone active.
I know.
Springer acknowledged.
We are struggling to maintain speed and heading with the stellar mass. I estimate 3 minutes before we lose the asteroid.
Springer silently acknowledged the dire situation, turning his head to face his former friend.
I know why you hollowed out this asteroid. It is full of super heavy elements.
Once the outer crust is melted, the rest will reform into a solid mass.
An asteroid becomes a bullet, Springer surmised.
You are correct, old friend. It makes no difference now. We are within the planetary graphitic envelope.
Impactor smiled darkly.
Then it means nothing if I do this.
3 beams of ruby light emitted from his quickly aimed weapon. 2 beams pass through Impactor's torso, killing the backup power supply. The last evaporates his half skull, Shards of metal explode outwards. Oily coolant and mechanical brain matter strewn the gantry below. Impactor, what was left of the clone version, dies in a mechanical sigh as Springer cuts it away from data chutes and feed cables. The asteroid interior glows red, a failsafe.
Reactor containment overload initiated. Time to detonation, 6 minutes.
The engines shudder and die, yet the power supply builds. Feed cables melt and fuse, sending percussive blasts along their lengths.
Springer, come in, Commander. I found a shuttle, but we are on borrowed time. The asteroid is slowed, but will now make landfall just before detonation.
Get everyone on board. I need to steer this thing away from Earth.
How?
Roadbuster sounds confused.
Just get everyone off this damned rock.
What about you, Commander?
You are the commander now.
Silence fills the comms line.
Cybertron be with you, sir.
Energon guides our path.
The line goes dead. Springer, avoiding the multiple detonations that bracketed the bridge, went about the grisly work. He spliced cables, connected them to data ports, and loaded them onto his frame. The connections were intact. He had one option. It stared at him, the nuclear incandescence bathing him in a light he could almost feel. Feeling the intense load under his command at last, Springer fought to adjust course.
Brother.
Through the hazy data feed, he heard an echo of his former mentor and friend. It was not physical. It was pure data.
I see you now. Impactor.
Springer mouthed. He was almost lost to the data din, but still had control. This echo was noble, a shade of what his mentor once was. Yet another was also present, insidious, deadly, hungry. Unicron. It was gargantuan, yet reduced in stature. Its strength of will was near omniscient, yet it had limited control. It had managed to subvert Impactor's control core inside its fractured mind, turning it against its original programming. This was its final, terrible riposte. Yet it did not count for the bond of brotherhood between Impactor and Springer. Two Autobots fighting together for many years, strength of arms against all manner of foe. It tried to pollute the memory, yet Springer fought to bring clarity. His mind was clear, focused, unbroken. Springer's strength of mnemonic will beat back this shade of Unicron. Impactor will come to full clarity inside the gargantuan asteroid's data core.
What have I done?
You weren't to know it was Unicron, not you.
I can make it right.
We can make it right. The asteroid needs adjusting. Too late to reverse the velocity. Can only change course. The data demand on Springer forced him to speak curtly with the data version of Impactor.
Leave me. I will buy you time.
You will die alone, old friend. Springer called out in real space. A drop of oil leaked from a robot lens.
You freed me, old friend. You saved my soul. Let me return the favor, please.
What of Unicron?
I can hear him scratching away. You gave me the strength to endure him. Let me return the favor, please. Let me worry about him.
The graphitic center of the asteroid ship lurched as secondary engines ignited in one quadrant. The stellar body began to turn.
Go.
Springer was data shunted out of connection. Hissing cabling exploded from his frame. His mind was temporarily dissociated, but returned quickly. Sections of support beams giving way under the rapidly altered graphitic load, Springer ran as quickly as he could.
1 minute!
Roadbuster bellowed as he brought the engines online. Focused on immediate launch, he did not notice the compartment door forced open, pneumatics hissing in the refusal.
Commander!
Leadfoot called out. Roadbuster thought he was being addressed from inside the crew compartment.
No time! Launch!
A familiar voice from behind him roared. Roadbuster pushed the thrust engines to maximum, jettisoning the craft clear. After 30 seconds of continued propulsion, Roadbuster turned the yoke to face the rushing asteroid. Something was different. The asteroid slowly turned, spinning slightly away. Hidden engines to the flanks burned brightly, adjusting the course of the stellar mass.
It is heading for the star.
Springer!
Roadbuster cried out, seeing the damaged frame of his friend sporting multiple wounds. Some were from enemy fire, but most were in key data port locations. Whatever happened, they had succeeded.
That was you?
No, an old friend.
The wreckers, damaged and broken but defiant, watched as the asteroid disappeared towards the star. Hours later, a blip of light filled the gloom, then disappeared.
Let's go home, brothers.
Sir, we're receiving a signal.
Roadbuster, moving aside to the comm station, stared into the feed.
From our escort craft.
Springer guessed.
No, deep void signal. Audio only. Shall I patch it through?
Springer nodded. A click followed by a mess of static enveloped the din of the ship.
Autobots, hear me.
Leadfoot, holding himself up by a makeshift crutch of reinforced steel, spoke with emotional reverence.
It can't be. Autobots, hear me.
More prominent now, static gave way to authority.
After so long.
Roadbuster whispered, daring to give hope its name.
Autobots, hear me.
Full clarity filled the message. It was unmistakable. Springer smiled. Hope filled his heart for the first time in what felt like a century.
It is.
Springer confirmed. Down on Earth's surface, new Cybertronia burned with 1,000 fires.
I have returned.
Blinks of light filled the void with dozens of starships en route to intercept the planet. Optimus Prime had returned to Earth.